Being self-employed can be a challenge. There are many obstacles to overcome, like managing operations, paying taxes, and dealing with the uncertainty of the future.
So I've been self-employed for over 10 years now, and in my experience, the NIS has been a lifesaver. When I was injured on the job, the employment injury benefit provided me with a steady income until I could get back on my feet. I was worried about how I was going to pay my bills and look after my family. But then I remembered I'm registered with NIS. I applied for the employment injury benefit and I was approved. I'm now back to work doing what I love, and I'm able to take control of my finances.
NIS provides benefits to self-employed persons in Grenada. And now we have a new approach to make it easier for you to contribute. Now self-employed persons can contribute as little as $660 or as much as $6,600 each year. Choose to pay monthly or in lump sums annually. Enjoy the advantage of no penalties and surcharges. And make self-employed payments even when employed elsewhere.
I'm glad that the NIS has made contributing easier for self-employed people. It is a valuable safety net for when the unexpected happens. Contributing to NIS has given me the peace of mind and security I need to run my business and take care of my loved ones. If you're a self-employed person in Grenada, I encourage you to do the same.
To learn more about self-employment contributions, please visit www.nisgrenada.org or call our information hotline at 440-6647.
CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Maurice Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Friday the 6th of October with the headlines in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Hit it up to your inner move. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, St. George resident charged with trafficking a controlled drug. A disturbing increase in cases of physical abuse and the neglect of children. Week-long activities for this year's World Food Day observance. And in sport, boots on for the 2023 National Cross Country Championship. We'll have details to those and other stories. A look to at the public forecast information right after the break. Stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. During a search of a barrel bearing the name Aku Sandy at the St. George's Port on Tuesday the 3rd of October, customs officers discovered 30 pounds of cannabis carrying an estimated street value of 150,000 EC dollars. As a result, Sandy, a 31-year-old laborer of River Road, St. George, was arrested and charged by police officers for the offense of trafficking in a controlled drug. Sandy was brought to the St. George's Magistrates Court on Thursday and was granted bail in the sum of $60,000 with 2 sureties. He is required to surrender all travel documents, however, seeking the permission from the court to travel out of the state of Grenada, and he's to report to the Central Police Station every Wednesday and Friday between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. He's scheduled to return to court on the 2nd of April next year, 2022. Official attached to the Child Protection Authority, Nikita Wells, has revealed that there is a concerning increase in cases of physical abuse and neglect of children. According to Wells, statistics from the last 5 years are showing that while there does appear to be a decline in sexual abuse cases, that they are still disturbed by other offenses.
Reported cases to the authority in Grenada. I'm going to start with sexual abuse. In 2018, we had 203 reported cases. 2019, 140. 2020, 156. 2021, 86. 2022, 152. We also had physical abuse cases being reported. 2018, we had 107. 2019 we had 110, 2020 we had 76, 2021 we had 41, 2022 we had 108. And finally, child neglect or abandonment. 2018 we had 102, 2019 we had 75, 2020 40, 2021 53, and 2022 99. So those are some statistics of cases reported to the authority by the general public.
Child abandonment continues to trouble the authorities, and Wells highlighted one scenario that is often taken for granted but places children's safety at risk.
Well, abandonment is basically not leaving your child just to run to the store. It's leaving your child unattended without proper adult supervision. Keywords here, adult supervision. You could run to the store. We don't tell you run to the store and stay forever. You just step out to the shop on the corner store, you come back. But leaving your child unattended for a long period, probably for a day or two, without proper adult supervision. So that is considered abandonment.
Wells says this alarming trend raises serious alarms about child safety and calls for immediate attention and action. Meanwhile, as Child Month awareness activities continue, a police officer is emphasizing the critical role of mandatory reporting in child abuse cases and is highlighting the severe penalties for failing to report such incidents. We have more in this report.
In a recent interview with MTV News, officer attached to the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Corporal Sherwin Noel, underscored the importance of mandatory reporting in cases of child abuse as a vital tool in safeguarding the welfare of children. He emphasized the crucial role that every member of the community, especially professionals who work closely with children, play in ensuring their safety.
Let me just quickly run into the mandatory reporting issues, and this section applies to, say, a health practitioner, a dental practitioner, an allied health practitioner, registered pursuant to the Health Practitioners Act, a nurse or other mental health practitioner, and that's only A. So when we speak about these categories, we speak about individuals who are mandated to report incidences of child abuse to the authority.
Mandatory reporting laws also require education officials and others who work closely with children to report any suspicions or evidence of child abuse or neglect to the authorities.
C, a school principal, teacher, or other teaching professional. D, a social worker or other social service professional. E, an owner, operator, or employee of a child care service. F, a guidance counselor. G, any person who by virtue of his employment or occupation has a responsibility to discharge a duty of care towards a child.
Failure to comply with mandatory reporting laws can result in severe penalties, including fines and imprisonment. Noel explained that the consequences for those who contravene these laws are significant because they put children at risk.
So you should feel free to call, give information in relation to child abuse and so on. And the penalty, yes, section 5, it says a person who contravenes subsection 2 commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $5,000 or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 months. So these are the penalty. This is the penalty in place for persons who fail to comply with the mandatory reporting.
The Child Protection Authority is the sole entity responsible for the handling of reports of child abuse and intervention in child abuse cases, working in tandem with the Royal Grenada Police Force. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
In response to escalating reports of dengue fever outbreaks across the Caribbean, Senior Environmental Health Officer attached to the Vector Control Department in the Ministry of Health, Awani Ned, during a recent interview with MTV News, shared the country's proactive measures in combating potentially deadly diseases. According to Ned, Grenada has intensified its mosquito surveillance efforts, monitoring mosquito breeding sites and implementing stricter control measures to minimize the Aedes aegypti mosquito population responsible for transmitting dengue.
And we also do have a project right now working on where we have different vector control workers. So we try to decentralize it, working in each parish. Each community, so communities that we found high indices of breeding, so indices above 20%, meaning that we have at least 20% containers in all the containers that we found, 20% breeding mosquito, and mainly the Aedes aegypti, which is the cause of the dengue. So we have teams working in those different communities and again, once they enter a premises, the main goal is to, once they leave that premises, is to ensure that there is no breeding.
He says that they may also resort to enforcing the law, which carries a fine for the indiscriminate breeding of mosquitoes.
And we are also going to be enacting that old law, the Mosquito Destruction Act, for persons who might be stubborn, who continue to breed mosquitoes on the property. And the law states that once we find breeding in the first instance, then we can charge you $250. And if there is a subsequent instance again, then we can charge you $500 for that. So we are hoping to not get to that extreme, to having to charge persons. So we're asking persons to, to assist us in source reduction, getting rid of any water holding containers.
Due to the increase in dengue cases in countries and territories of Central America and the Caribbean, the Pan American Health Organization (PAHO) and the World Health Organization (WHO) are encouraging member states to review their preparedness and response plans, as well as to continue surveillance, early diagnoses, and timely care of dengue and other arbovirus cases in order to prevent severe cases and death associated with these diseases. Changes to this year's World Food Day observance are expected to boost public awareness, having a greater impact on citizens' lifestyle choices. The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives has announced that they are moving away from the traditional one-day celebration, and they've outlined instead a week of activities for World Food Day 2023, as we now hear from Troy Gill.
World Food Day celebrations is observed internationally on October 16th in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, or the FAO. However, this year's celebration will run from October 16th to October 20th, 2023. Activities will be held under the theme, Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Senior Agriculture Officer attached to the Extension Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Chairperson of the WFD Committee is Lauren St. Louis.
Really put focus on water in agriculture, water at our homes, the marine economy, and to ensure that we sustainably manage the water that we have. The World Food Day is a day to remember that everybody, and to plan also to ensure that everybody has safe, reliable food and has access to that food, and also to celebrate our farmers.
An address from Minister for Agriculture, Senator Adrian Thomas, and a panel discussion at the Grenada Trade Center will form part of the week's activities. A highlight of the week will be the Eating Water campaign.
We will be distributing watermelons and cantaloupes, five fingers, other fruits at the at various bus terminals, and we will also be asking our students and our teachers to have watermelons and that sort of fruit at the schools. So we're promoting healthy eating. We will have the GFNC, which will provide us with some information on both healthy eating and, of course, on safe water usage.
The one-week observance will climax with an official ceremony and exhibition in Grenville. Farmers, agro-processors, and value chain partners will have the opportunity to display their produce and products, establish network and strengthen bonds as the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives seeks to propel the sector forward. The event culminates with a concert.
So we look forward to seeing you there. We look forward to sharing the knowledge with you. We look forward to sharing with our students, because we have to ensure that we prepare and we are ready for what's happening, especially now with climate change, and that we adequately and sustainably manage our water resources.
For MTV News, Troy Gill.
A local attorney wants a full investigation into supposed missing oil and gas documents. Alison Clouden believes that this may be the only way to solve what many have been referring to as Grenada's oil and gas mystery. But we have more in this report.
As a consequence of those lucrative contracts, the people of Grenada have a right to know. And those contracts must be disclosed to the government of Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell.
Oil and gas in Grenada's water has been a relevant issue for many years, and attorney at law Alison Clouden is calling for a full investigation into the oil and gas documents. In an interview with MTV News, the criminal attorney says citizens are entitled to know the nature of the country's oil developments and expectations. He says the disappearance can lead to criminal charges against those who are responsible.
The government of the day has a responsibility to ensure that those documents are kept in protective custody. And any disappearance of those documents, those who are responsible as custodians must be held responsible and must be held criminally responsible. Those documents are not the documents of the NMP or, for that matter, the former Prime Minister and Minister of Energy. Those documents are state documents. And an immediate investigation into the disappearance of those documents must be commissioned.
During the Governor General's throne speech to mark the opening of the second sitting of the 11th Parliament on September 27th, the possibility of oil and gas was struck down, stating that there is no evidence or documents to show the possibility of finding oil and gas in Grenada's water.
Very little records can be found anywhere within the government, and our technocrats within the ministries and departments have very little information on this matter. In essence, upon assuming office, my government was not provided with any transition report or any files on Grenada's legal or contractual obligations or Grenada's progress in relation to its oil and gas reserves.
However, opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell says that government is telling untold stories about the oil and gas situation.
They lie about oil and gas, that they have no documentation. It's a blatant lie.
For MTV News, Kayla Flavany.
This is the evening edition of news. We still have more to come for you right after the break. Stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
For when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
For a limited time, the NLA has dropped all of the 2x balls from the multi-X draw. This means that you, our valuable players, have greater chances of multiplying your winnings up to 5 times more in our 2x drop promotion. Yay! And that's not all. As an additional bonus, there will be fewer free play or FP balls to draw from too. Now you have more reasons to add multi-X to your playway bets. So, value your dreams, win your way, and multiply your winnings up to 5 times more in the NLA's 2x Dropped promotion. Promo runs until Friday, 20th October, 2023. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help you to your learning.
Grenada, get ready. A new season of the Grand Leg Debates is coming. Informative, impromptu, bright young minds sparking powerful ideas. The Grand Leg Debates, September 2023. Tune in.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property, to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand opening of the 13th edition of the Waikiki Super Knockout is on. Saturday, 14th October at the National Stadium from 7 p.m. Two big opening games. At 7 p.m, Game 1, Happy Hill Bowlers versus Sub Spartans SC. Game 2, Paradise SC Youth versus Hurricane SC Youth. Then, after the games, we head stateside for the young and upcoming trending Jamaican dancehall artist, Stark Ashley. Alongside the dancehall superstar, Idonia.
We have a party tonight, you just watch. Tonight, we feel like spend some cash.
Idonia.
Back on the street, back on the street.
Idonia is coming.
Everybody shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
Also featuring the Octane Band, Young Bert and Tantrax. Admission $50. Main stand, bleachers and secondary stand $40. The 13th edition of the Waikiki Super Knockout is on. Don't miss a game.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. Ivan Hyacinth, who pleaded guilty to robbery with violence, will know his fate on Monday, the 9th of October, as his matter was adjourned on Friday. That's according to his lawyer, Jerry Edwin. The Hyacinth brothers from Happy Hill, St. George, were arrested and charged in April of 2022 in connection with a robbery at Happy Time Bakery in Happy Hill, where over $8,000 worth of goods and a cell phone was stolen. Ivan's brothers, Neil, was sentenced to 7 years in prison on Thursday. 1,100 cattle semen straws were procured by the Ministry of Agriculture under the Agricom project, all aimed at resuscitating the livestock industry here in Grenada. Now, the procurement itself is valued in excess of $100,000 for both hormones and semen. Head of the Veterinary Division of the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Kimon Cummings, stated that the Veterinary Department intends to make maximum use of the commodity, as this is critical to the sustainability of the livestock industry.
What you would see is that there would be an increase in the overall market weight for cattle, which is something that we already highly promote on the ministry end if you start looking at food security. So this is one of our major reason for the reintroducing the artificial insemination program. So apart from improving the overall genetics, you want to improve your market weight and market quality. Carcass quality is something that you really want to improve. And when I say carcass quality, persons who are quite knowledgeable about good quality beef and good cuts and good steaks.
Dr. Cummings further stated that over the past few weeks, the ministry was engaged in training 2 of its officers to spearhead the artificial insemination project.
In terms of where we have gotten with the program, we did a pilot project last week. We did 2 young heifers. And we're not doing the natural heat, so we use what you call estrus synchronization. There's hormones, and so that would mimic the hormones that the body would produce naturally. So we would manipulate her cycles, right? So we did that. It's 10 days, so it's 0, 7, and 10. And on day 10, which was last week, Wednesday, we would have done the insemination of those 2 heifers. So we would have done our pilot already. There was a series of training with the officers who are involved in the program, who will be carrying the program to its duration. So this is being done. Now we're looking at Wednesday officially to start the program.
The first pilot cattle insemination was conducted last Thursday, and this phase of the project, involving the 1,100 straws of semen and hormones, is expected to run over a period of 4 months, beginning on Wednesday. Livestock farmers throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique are being encouraged to register and be a part of the artificial insemination project with the Ministry of Agriculture. It's the MTV Evening News, and in this evening's Total Local, we feature spoken word artist Aquino Romain with his spoken word piece, The Bush. Let's have a listen.
I was there, I will always be there, here, everywhere, waiting to hear or see your share of the story.
My name is Aquino Romain, also known as Tallis. Spoken word artist, songwriter, general all-round creative. Well, spoken word is a form of poetry where you fuse lyrics with rhythm. It's a different kind of rhythm. Spoken word is more classified based on delivery. It's not just regular poetry, but it has a kind of flow, a kind of rhythm to it. So yeah, that's what spoken word is.
What I have seen in my lifetime, your granny was right. The bush has eyes. I have seen the sexual manifestation of lovers, both secure in the arms of each other, lips locked as the moon hovers and covers them. Hormones rage and they can't.
Well, this piece is entitled "The Bush." It was inspired by the bush. There's a saying that we say in Grenada: "The bush has eyes." So I really kind of looked into that saying and kind of personified myself as the bush, and thinking about all the things that happen in the bush, and if the bush was a real person, what the bush would express. So that's essentially what the piece is about.
Nobody but me. I would much prefer to mind my own business, but God wants me to witness. I see the labor of the farmer, the sweat, the toil, Sweat spills as he tills the soil. Rum is the only oil that keeps this engine going. Sun beating his back, his blade whacks away the weeds.
Well, naturally, I'm a performer, so I perform a lot in Grenada. So that's why I try to use a lot of dialect, a lot of local lingo to kind of make the pieces relatable. Because I believe our dialect is something that we should be proud of, and we should be proud to express in that way. So I have no real issue in using dialect when I'm writing.
He takes in a minute of shock, a steady hand he prays for, as he sees our next man helping himself to the fruit of his labor. I really want to mind my own business, but your business is my business. I have clear visuals of habitual spiritual rituals. Cloaked by night, but secrecy is not so secret to me. I see everything.
So we'll definitely like the Tuesday Night Jazz and Poetry to become something bigger. This is something we do in collaboration with Solid the Band. So the aim is just to make the event on Tuesday bigger and to push the poetry more.
Praise to Orishas of wind and rain. Your secret is safe with me. I know why you don't want to be seen. Your worship they demonize a white life for feeble minds because your gods are the same. I know them by face and I know them by name.
That's the second segment of the evening news here on MTV. Regional highlights are next. The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the Tri-Island state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matheson, also known as Leftis, and I'm a calypsonian and string band music player from Carrico. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carrico and Petit Matinee Carnival, the Carrico String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, and nation building.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Let's get back to school with Dutch Lady. Spend $10 or more on Dutch Lady products, scan the QR code, enter your name, address, telephone number, receipt number, and place of purchase at any of our outlets. Or online to enter for a chance to win. Shopping voucher valued at $1,000 for school supplies. Free internet for 3 months. Free private tutoring for 3 months. Promotion valid from September to October 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Visit participating outlets and get ready to win big with Dutch Lady. Dutch Lady, building stronger families.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property, to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
Our 11th Grenleg Debates champion.
The Grenleg Debates, more than just a competition. Littering is not. It's a national collaboration nurturing curiosity, research, critical thinking, and confidence among our secondary school students all over Grenada.
We need to teach more cognitive.
Bright young minds are sparking powerful ideas.
Financial capital is just a passive factor.
Not just a debate. For the audience, it's a voyage of self-discovery. Our debaters dare us to be informed, to listen and respect different perspectives, even while we champion our beliefs. With the unwavering commitment of educators, public and private sector entities, the media, and an army of volunteers, this impactful national challenge unfolds every year between September and November. The Grenleg Debates, shaping the way we think.
The choice to finance your education is clear. Try the Grenada Development Bank Won't You Dare. Our special student loan was designed with care for your growth, development, and welfare. This is how champions are made. Take on that challenge. Don't ever be afraid. Our special student loan will come to your aid with 100% of your study costs being paid. Vulnerability is but a temporary condition, and conquering it is strictly ambition. You can secure victory despite your position with a loan for accommodation, books, and tuition. We see your potential. We notice your drive. So on your marks, get set. Let your dreams come alive. Don't let hurdles of doubt get in your way, because you are the future. Contact GDB today. Our special student loan is just one application away. Grenada Development Bank. Development through financing.
Welcome back, and now is Clifton James with this evening's Regional Roundup.
With the Regional Roundup, I am Clifton James. Officials in Nevis said the island escaped major damage during the passage of Tropical Storm Felipe earlier this week. In a statement on Wednesday, Premier Mark Brantley said Brian Dyer, the director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, submitted a report to the Nevis Island Administration in which he outlined the storm's impact. Damage reported across the island thus far has been minimal. The health sector had no reported damage. Concerning the social sector, 2 homes reported issues with missing asphalt shingles. There were no reports of damage from the faith-based organisation, said Brantley. Schools were closed and the government and private sector curtailed the working hours of the workforce as a safety measure. There were no reports of flooding issues. In the area of agriculture, Brantley said there was minor damage to crops like bananas, papaya and corn and shade houses. A fishing vessel was also destroyed. Brantley disclosed that there was damage to the canopy at the Charleston port facility and the picket fence at the Vance W. Amory International Airport. Meanwhile, over in Guyana, a crane operator employed by Tipu Construction Group and known as the Guyanese Critics tragically lost his life on Thursday. More in this HGP TV report.
44-year-old Sean Joseph died Thursday afternoon after a crane he had been operating collapsed with him inside. The fatal incident happened at Peters Hall on the east bank of the Moraro. The work site is managed by social media commentator, now private contractor Mikhail Rodriguez, called Guyanese Critic, of Tipu Construction. He spoke with reporters at the scene.
He was driving a pile. Some movement happened with the footing of the pile and the crane tilted. The operator came out of the crane and for some reason stood in a fixed position and the crane crushed him. Everybody was screaming to him. As a matter of fact, the operator died on the spot where I was standing. I remember he was in the crane, so he had to jump out of the crane, jump to where I was. And for some reason he stopped. I don't know if he injured his foot when he jumped out of the crane or whatever, but unfortunate at this time.
Night News was told that Joseph had complained about the crane being defective, but his complaints allegedly fell on deaf ears. Rodriguez was asked about this.
It is not up to me to speak on the behalf of Tipu as it relates to our safety. Yes, we have been in par with all safety regulations and requirements, but obviously an investigation by the police and the Ministry of Labour will vindicate us in that case.
Crime scene detectives and officers from the Ministry of Labour's Occupational Health and Safety Department descended on the scene and immediately commenced their separate investigations. Tianco reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Further afield, a man who admitted to trying to kill the late Queen Elizabeth II after being found on the grounds of Windsor Castle with a loaded crossbow was on Thursday handed a 9-year sentence. Jaswant Singh, Chail, 21, will serve the first part of his term in the high-security Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital, moving to prison when his mental health permits. The former supermarket worker had lost touch with reality, so that he had become psychotic, said sentencing judge Nicholas Hilliard at London's Old Bailey Court. After breaking into the grounds of the Queen's residence on Christmas Day 2021, Chail admitted to an armed officer at the scene that he was there to kill the Queen. In a journal he wrote that if he could get to the monarch, he would go for the Prince as a suitable figurehead, in an apparent reference to her son, the current King Charles III. You're up to date with the Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the tri-island state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matheson, also known as Leftist, and I'm a calypsonian and string band music player from Carrico. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carrico and Pitty Carnival, the Carrico String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, and nation building.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Switch to a Ready Cash loan today. Bring your loan to us and get 25% off your interest rate. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and hassle-free service, so you can do all the important things you need with ease. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.shopcourts.com. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it's crucial for us to conserve water at home. When washing my vehicle, I use a bucket with rainwater that I have stored. This is how I save water. What are you waiting for?
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand opening of the 13th edition of the Waikiki Super Knockout is on. Saturday, 14th October at the National Stadium from 7 p.m. 2 big opening games. At 7 p.m. Game 1, Happy Hill Bowlers versus Sab Spartans SC. Game 2, Paradise SC Youth versus Hurricane SC Youth. Then, after the games, we head stateside for the young and upcoming trending Jamaican dancehall artist, Stark Ashley. Alongside the dancehall superstar, Idonia.
We have a party tonight, you just watch. Tonight, we feel like spend some cash.
Idonia.
Back on the street, back on the street.
Idonia is coming.
Everybody shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
Also featuring the Octane Band, Young Pert, and Tantrax. Admission $50. Main stand, bleachers, and secondary stand $40. The 13th edition of the Waikiki Super Knockout is on. Don't miss a game.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Thompson, co-owner and founder of Sweet Grenada Tours, Taxi and Rental. We provide transportation tours in the field of tourism. Being in the field of tourism, the pandemic have taught us that we need all the help we can get, which the NIS has been very helpful in doing so. But as a small business owner, we are even more excited right now with the new initiative that the NIS have launched, providing a little bit more flexibility for small businesses like ourselves. So we definitely encourage all of the small business to consider getting on board with the NIS and this new initiative that allows the level of flexibility that they have implemented.
It's boots on for the 2023 National Cross Country Championship. That highlight and more coming up in your sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
We've got 101 reasons for you to shop at Courts now. Get up to 35% off selected items store-wide. Save on select lounge sets, fridges, stoves, washers, mattresses, smart TVs, and more. Get what you want today with no cash and make your first payment in 90 days. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield extended warranty. So there's 101 reasons to shop at Courts. Courts, bringing value home. Promotion runs from September 25 to October 23, 2023. Conditions apply.
Special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here are your latest sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. Athletes from across the island will converge on Saturday, 7th October at the Telescope Playing Field in St. Andrew for the start of the 2023 National Cross Country Championships. This is as the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture is making a call for all long-distance runners, including schools and clubs, to participate in events. 4 races will be held, 3 preliminaries and 1 final. Senior athletic coach in the ministry, Albert Joseph, says this Saturday's event will be followed by the second preliminary next week.
The next one, that's the 7th. The next one will be at Lassages on the 14th. The third one, we have a series of 3 preliminary ones, and the third one is at Tantin on the 21st.
The event seeks to provide an avenue for distance athletes to compete in the cross-country event, to develop distance running, to promote the championship and cross-country running throughout the Tri-Island. Points will be awarded to each team. The team with the lowest aggregate score wins the championship in their respective division. Following the preliminary round of competition, finalists will be required to register online using the platform trackyreg.com. The winners will be announced after the results are finalized for each race. On Thursday, the second Grenada Rugby World Sevens was launched at the Grenada Tourism Authority building. This is a partnership between the Grenada Rugby Union and the Grenada Tourism Authority. CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority is Petra Roach.
Grenada was one of 6 countries in the entire Caribbean who was showing positive growth. And that is an absolute wonderful accolade to have. And I can tell you, it's not just because of increased airlift or increased marketing, but it really does also have a lot to do with the fact that we are diversifying our focus, that it's not just about sun, sand and sea, that we see sport in itself as a phenomenal opportunity for growth, not only today, but also for the coming years.
Member of the National Sports Council Secretariat and representative from the Ministry of Sports is Alvin Clouden.
As we embark on this journey for the second time, we are not only celebrating the sport of rugby, but also our nation's commitment to fostering a vibrant sporting culture that transcends boundaries and unites communities. And communities is a big thing for us going forward. Getting into the communities is going to be great and the development of sport.
Making their debut at the second Grenada Rugby World Sevens is the Greens rugby team. Nigel Lane shared some remarks on behalf of the local team.
I can tell you that we're in much better shape than last year. We understand the sport better, we understand the rules, and we better in the formations. And I think the whole team is excited just being on the field and representing 473. And I think you guys will be in for a show.
Grenada's football match officials recently completed the FIFA MA referees course. They invested their time to ensure that they could referee matches at a high standard. The course consisted of a review of the laws of the game, classroom theory sessions and practical sessions in the field, as well as a fitness test. The training was led by FIFA Referee Development Officer Javier Santos and FIFA instructors Diane Ferreira and Kalisha Antoine. The match officials proudly received their certificates of completion and felt more confident in their abilities. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Troy Gill.
The latest sporting highlights there for you and listeners and viewers alike. Remember, we'll have the public forecast coming up for you and then a recap of the main stories when we return.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We have the will to overcome. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Friday evening, viewers, with the Friday night and the weekend's weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Sunny conditions return to the Eastern Caribbean today after the showers from that tropical wave that moved through the area. No major features around right now. We do have another tropical wave in the central Atlantic moving to the west, of course. Some convection with it, but it's still some distance away, not showing any signs of what it will do as yet. We do have this slight haze that is approaching the islands. No other features, as I said. We would be enjoying clear skies for the next few days. You can see right now just some patches, residual clouds from the passage of that wave that will more or less dissipate through the night and into Saturday, bringing clear skies. The forecast for Friday night is for generally fair skies. There still is a possibility of a few isolated inland showers, easterly winds between 8 and 18 miles per hour. Minimum temperature around 24. The moon is going to rise 11 minutes after midnight and set at 1:26 tomorrow afternoon. Mostly fair skies on Saturday. Winds remain easterly between 12 and 22 miles per hour with moderate seas and 4 to 6 foot waves. Sunrise 5:56, 5:53 is the sunset. Temperature 32 will feel like 39. The UV index very high. Sunday will bring similar conditions. 12 to 22 mile per hour easterly winds will continue to blow. Seas moderate 4 to 5 foot waves. Sunrise 5:56, 5:52 is the sunset. Temperature around 32 will feel like 40, a wee bit hotter than on Saturday. The UV index still very high. For the remainder of next week, look for hot conditions, generally fair conditions throughout the week. Possibility of a slight increase in cloudiness by the start of the next weekend. That's it for me for Friday night and for this week, folks. Have yourself a great night, safe and an enjoyable weekend, and join me again on Monday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A St. George resident has been charged with trafficking a controlled drug. A disturbing increase in cases of physical abuse and the neglect of children. A week long of activities for this year's World Food Day observance. And in sport, it'll be boots on for the 2023 National Cross Country Championship. We've had details to those and other stories to look to at the Public Forecast information. It's all been a part of the Evening Edition Friday right here on MTV. I'm Tony Julian, along with the news and production departments. We all link up in thanking you so very much for viewing, and we wish you a safe and wonderful weekend.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Lorraine Scott John, also known as Tonty Lorraine, Lolo and Gary Wright, of Marley St. Patrick, passed away on Wednesday, September 6, 2023, at the age of 64. She was the mother of Thomas Jones, also known as Tito in the UK, and Gillian John in Grenada. Grandmother of Queen Anne, Azeda, Tiquani, Kimberly and Angel. Sister of Albert Jones, also known as Gang, May in the USA and Chris. Niece of Aaron, Zeltina, Wilma and Joycelyn. Aunt of 3, godmother of many. Many other relatives and friends including Sherilyn, Joan, Eunice, Teacher Vic, Mr. Knights, Geraldine, Bamboo, Mrs. Francis, Keisha, Sybil, Petty, Sylvia, Mrs. Roseman, the Jones and John families of St. David, Gillian, Agnes, Yvette, Teacher Claudette, Nicole, Kiki, Charmaine, Xander, Farge, Spider, Trini, Lloyd, Bishop Harvey, Father Michael, Father Francis, Father Patrick, and parishioners of the St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Marilyn, the Maguire family, Mrs. Gordon, Hess, Marcia, Cheryl, friends at the Carib Shop, Cousin Robin, vendors at the Saters Vegetable Market, Jobson, Paddy, Marissa Lett, members of the choir and charismatic prayer group, Carol's Choir, the SVP, staff of the Hilarion Home, staff of Royalton, the Ministry of Works, Minister Joseph Andel, the Honourable Dickon Mitchell and family, the Charles family, and friends and neighbours of Marley and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Lorraine Scott John, also known as Tonty Lorraine, Lolo and Gary Wright, of Marley St. Patrick, will take place on Monday, October 9th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick Catholic Church, Saters, and interment will be at the Marley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. William Cadu, better known as Kim, of Windsor Forest, St. David, passed away on Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, at the age of 48. Left to mourn are his mother, Louise Cadu, wife, Kimlin Victor Cadu, 5 children, Sean Kim, Shania and Shawnji Cadu, Shonaika Charles and Kimon Brown, 13 siblings including Carol, Pecula, Dexter, Eugene, Brandon, Kerry, Junior and Shondi, 1 grandchild, Zaya Gilmore, 1 foster son, Tashon Lucas, many aunts and uncles including Catherine Cador, Glenna and Sharon Benjamin, many nieces and nephews, many close friends and relatives including Norris Caliste and family of St. Andrew, the former staff of Singer Limited, Jane and Clement Thomas, Jamesy and the guys by the shop, the Dragon family of Windsor Forest, the Benjamin family of Grove, the Cadu family of Kumar, and neighbours and loved ones, other friends and relatives of Windsor Forest and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late William Cadu, better known as Kim, of Windsor Forest, St. David, will take place on Tuesday, October 10th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Church Grand Aunts, and interment will be at the Grand Aunts Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Patrick Michael Telesford of Creighton St. George died on Saturday, September 16, 2023, at the age of 94. Left to mourn are his beloved wife Elvira Telesford, children Lucille Copeland, Donna Jeremiah, Dennis, Frederick and the Honourable Philip Telesford, 1 sister, 28 grandchildren including Celine Samuel Dow, Arino and Jonathan Telesford, Jamie Jeremiah, and Camellia Hyacinth Diafuka, 22 great-grandchildren including Neil Bernard, daughters-in-law Bernadette and Melinda Telesford, sons-in-law Joseph Copeland, Michael and Hyacinth Jeremiah, brother-in-law Joseph Elcock, many nieces and nephews in Grenada, the BVI, Trinidad, and the USA, including Margaret Richards, Pamela Caesar, Adriana Francis, Stephen and Judy Pivot. Other close family and friends including the Pilgrim families of Springs, the Park, Griffith, Pivot, Braffett and Bowen families of Monjaloo, and the Telesford families of Westerhall, Windsor Forest and Boca, the pastor and members of the People's Church St. Paul's, and neighbours and friends of Creighton, Monjaloo, Richmond Hill and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Patrick Michael Telesford of Creighton St. George will take place on Tuesday, October 10th at 2 p.m. with tributes commencing at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the People's Church St. Paul's and entombment will be at the Monjulu Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Carlisle Francis Paul, also known as Brother Lou of Coescop St. David, a former bus driver, passed away on Friday, 22nd September at the age of 72. He was the husband of Ann Paul, also known as Rosalind Span Paul, father of Magdalene and Natalie Hazard, Jesselyn George, also known as Givon, Rodney, and Fiola Frederick, Maudine, Polly and Caliste, Carlin Span Simone, Claude, Connie, Karim, Shari and Carl Span, Jason Lyons, Andy Gilchrist, Nakenji Snappleton, Chris and Christel Rennie and Kellon, stepfather of Michael Span, grandfather of 39 including Ronika Cornwall, Rishon Peters, Levi, Frederick, Konaya and Kamaya, Kayla Span, Victor Kingston, Trisha Hazard, Rachel Span, and Kelisha Welsh, great-grandfather of 3, brother of Denroy, Alwyn, Christopher, Cheryl, and Cletus Collins, uncle of many including Leslieanne, Kalisha, and Tracy Paul, nephew of many including Merelda Paul, Camilo Collins, and Mike Smith, father-in-law of many including Roxanne Frederick, Asia Bowen, and Trisha Williams, brother-in-law of many including Kathleen Collins, Rachel and Shamanda in the USA, close friend of June Redhead and Roger. Many other relatives and friends including the Collins, Paul, John, Span and Thomas families of Coalscap, members of the Grandans Bus Association, friends and neighbors of Coalscap and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Carlisle Francis Paul, also known as Brother Lou of Coalscap St. David, will take place on Tuesday, 10th October at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Children of the Light Spiritual Baptist Church, Lassages St. David, and the interment will be at the Corinth Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Rupert Ethelbert Link of Lamode and St. George's Estate, St. George, who resided in the USA, passed away on Thursday, September 14th, 2023, at the age of 89. He was the father of Irva Cyrus and Ansel Thomas Clovis, grandfather of Jacinta Cyrus Penny, Eunette Horn, Cherise Brown, and Cheryl Jones, great-grandfather of 10, brother of Lucy Cador, Linda Hippolyte, also known as Rosalind, Donna Link Scott, and Mark and Martin Lawrence. Several nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives and close friends, including the Lawrence, Link, Atz, Johnson, Fraser and Noel families, the Donald, Purcell, Eben, Dolland, Edgehill, Butler, Stewart, Harris, Botas and Nixon families, and friends and neighbors of Lamode and St. George's Estate and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Rupert Ethelbert Link of Lamode and St. George's Estate, St. George, who resided in the USA, will take place on Wednesday, October 11th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaulieu Roman Catholic Church, and entombment will be at the Beaulieu Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Gladys Simon née Campbell, also known as Miss Gladys or Simon, of Cornets Walk, Wharf, St. John, passed away on Saturday, September 9th, 2023, at the age of 99. She was the mother of Ramos and Rena Ann in the USA and Fillmore, grandmother of 10, including Carl, also known as Soti, Nathaniel, Sarah, Jason and Garvin in Canada, Shania and Rhea in the USA, great-grandmother of 2, aunt and grand-aunt of many, caregivers Ina, Judy and Pam. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including the Campbell, Simon, Alphonse and Mitchell families, Jane Ellen and the Glaze family in England, the St. John's Anglican School staff, and friends and neighbors of Wharf and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Gladys Simon née Campbell, also known as Miss Gladys or Simon, of Cornets Walk, Wharf, St. John, will take place on Wednesday, October 11th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. John's Anglican Church, and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Camillus Nimrod Henry, also known as Big Joe and Folk Dance, of Birchgrove St. Andrew, proprietor of Henry's Brokerage Clearance Services and treasurer of the Birchgrove Development Council, passed away on Monday, 4th September 2023, at the age of 43. He was the father of Nashona Henry, son of Orion and Sherma Henry, grandson of Bernadine Henry, also known as Miss Little, brother of Cadella Henry Victor, Camille Henry Billy, Cordelia and Canida Henry, brother-in-law of Horace Cheddy Victor and Shadrach Billy, nephew of Mona Walden, Cyril Henry, Tony Boris Henry, Hank Shah Matthew, Christine Hutchinson, Marcia Henry, Ivan and Kelly Matthew, and Pastor Leo Prince, grandnephew of Mrs. Bernadette Beckles and teacher Myra Gabriel, uncle of Chelsea and Cheloni Victor, Cameron Henry Charles, and Shadia Billy. Many cousins, other relatives and friends in Grenada, Canada, the USA, and the UK, including Christabel Newell, Siobhan McIntyre, Roland Runnick and family, Sherman Thomas, Dixon Frank, Sheldon and Derek Joseph, Warren Powlett and Michelle Bernard, the 1997 graduating class of the Presentation Brothers College, clients of Henry's Brokerage Clearance Services, the management and staff of George F. Huggins, the Mitchell family of Richmond, Marcus and Marcia Gabriel and family, the Henry, Matthew, Charles, Campbell, Beggs and McSween families, friends on the block at St. James, Birchgrove, Monlong and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Camillus Nimrod Henry, also known as Big Joe and Folk Dance, of Birchgrove St. Andrew, will take place on Wednesday, 11th October at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's Catholic Church, Birchgrove, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Roxanne Jason Marshall, also known as Rox, of Otley's Lane, Guelph St. John, passed away on Thursday, 14th September, at the age of 47. He was the son of Grace Marshall and Patrick McQuilkin, also known as BJ in the USA. His adoptive mother, Alison Cox, in the USA, father of Roxanne Marshall in Canada, Tyrese Marshall, also known as Papsy, and Shakif Alexis, also known as Nono in Grenada, his fiancée, Liana Logie, brother of Robbie Marshall, Nicole McQuilkin, Danley James, and Keosha Snipes in the USA, Kellon Bernard in Canada, and Patrick McQuilkin, also known as Shannon, nephew of Estelle, Doani, Lucille, Marshall, Gerald, Uncle G, Thomas, Keith, Randy, Louise, Linessa, Naaman, and Angela Williams, Deslin, and Sandra Mackenzie, Dennis, Veli, Harmon, Shauna, and Marian Johnson, uncle of Jasri Marshall, Amari Thomas, Lenaya McQuilkin, and Kimiko Snipes, cousin of Heather, Roxanne, and Marsha Marshall, Keith Jr. Marshall, Keston Henry, Kirani James and family, Janelle and Denick Marshall and family, Bernardine Andrew and family, Bernardine Andrews and family, Shirley and Roderick, Kelly Sabazan and family, Ryan Williams and family, Kendall Mackenzie and family, Kalana Williams and family, Deborah Glean and family, and Sandra Sugars Williams and family. Many other close relatives and friends including Gus Chiddick, Roger John B. Ron Simon, Cheston Big John Ferguson, Junior Knight, John L. Smith, Dennis Rasta Duncan, Marlon Glean, Davis Manishman St. Paul, Derek Sylvester, Tyrone Marilyn Fleming, Salisha Redhead, Petra Louison and family, Jenin Francis and family, the Alexis family of Loreto, Friends on the Block in Gun Battle and Grand Roy, the Marshall, Williams and Henry families of Guave, the Mitchell and Curfew families of Grand Mall, friends and neighbors of Guave and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Roxani Jason Marshall of Otley's Lane, Guave St. John, will take place on Wednesday, 11th October at 1:30 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's Catholic Church, Guave St. John, and the interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Jean Agnes Bartholomew of New Hampshire St. George passed away on Wednesday, 13 September 2023 at the age of 71. She was the wife of Victor Charles, mother of Cheryl, Shirlene in the USA, Eric, Luann, Jesha and Rondell, sister of Agneta, Tony, Morris, Brenda and Henry in the USA, Patsy in Trinidad, Charles and Magdamus in Grenada, niece of Daisy Jofield in Tobago, grandmother of Alyssa, Elon, Janae, Zuri and Kaylee, many nieces and nephews including Ingrid and Kenny in the USA, Ron, Candace, Tarianne, Sandra and Marlon, mother-in-law of David and Tanisha, aunt-in-law of Natalie in Grenada, Carlton and Lakeisha in the USA, sister-in-law of Hazel Robinson and Oliver Charles in Grenada, Sharon Marshall in the USA, Anne Vincent and Errol Charles in Canada. Other relatives and friends including Yvonne Redhead and family in the USA, Gloria Checkley and family, Joan Patrick, Edward Radix, the Samuel family, the Superville, Charles and Frank families of New Hampshire, the Greenwich family of Snug Corner, the Bartholomew families of Beaulieu, Lamode and River Road, Ivy Medford and the Hines family of Montmoritz, brother, Pearl Noel, Phyllis Lacrette, and friends and neighbors of New Hampshire and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Jean Agnes Bartholomew of New Hampshire St. George will take place on Thursday, October 12th at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. George's Anglican Church and entombment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Teresa Antwine, also known as Cooley, of Central Grove Estate, St. John, passed away on Wednesday, 23rd August 2023 at the age of 59. She was the daughter of Cynthia Antwine, stepdaughter of Alfred Filbert, wife of Rawlings Edwards, mother of Akeda Antwine and Mondell Antwine Edwards, grandmother of Zephaniah Antwine, sister of Gracelyn Francis, Leslie and Stanford Antwine, and Ken Belfon in the USA, Michelle Joseph, Cynthia Julian and Ronald Smith in Canada, Everest Roderick in Trinidad, Judith Antwine, and Marcia Williams in Grenada. Aunt of many including Carlson, Tracy, Kevin and Crystal Francis, Lisa Antwine, Abigail Joseph, Alicia and Ashley Williams. Sister-in-law of Judith, Roll, Laurie and Paul Edwards, and Andy Jeffrey. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Luann Jordan and family, the Augustine family of Central, Indra Hall and family of Woodlands, the Lee family of Douglaston, Gillian Romaine and family, Jean Charles, Pauline Dawkins and the Ferguson family in Canada, Teresa Joseph and family of Pearls, Lester Peters and family, Homestead Guesthouse, Paul Benjamin and family, Paul's Catering, the management and staff of Father Dowd in Canada, and friends and neighbours of Central, Mungo Road, Guave Estate and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Teresa Antwine, also known as Cooley, of Central Guave Estate, St. John, will take place on Thursday, October 12th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church, Guave, St. John, and interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Daniel Jaffe John, also known as product of Prospect Hall, Carriacou, a well-known herbalist, passed away on Friday, 29th September 2023, at the age of 53. He was the son of Leonora Jaffe, father of Priscilla and Crystal John, brother of David, Rupert, Septimus, Toby, Golston and Michael Jaffe, Denise Gabriel, Anne-Marie John, Sherma Henry, Angela Kabagu, Valerie Scott, and Louise Jacob, nephew of Letitia McIntosh, George Charles, and Jean Nelson, uncle of many. Other relatives and friends, including the Charles and Lawrence families, Pastor Junior McNeil, Caslin Quashi, Hazel Jaffe, Cynthia Francis, and Chris Mola. The funeral of the late Daniel Jaffe John, also known as product of Prospect Hall, Carriacou, will take place on Thursday, October 12th at 10 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the graveside of the Brunswick Cemetery according to evangelical rites. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Agnes Cynthia Hippolyte, also known as Auntie Cinty of Bellevue, St. David, passed away on Friday, 29th September at the age of 86. She was a mother of Sydney, Francis, Meredith, also known as Patsy, Lystra, Thomas, and Roslyn. Grandmother of 17 including Malon, Anika, Dorsil, Gerald Jr., Adana, Kishton, Oma, Lestrade, Rashida, Tevin, Cindian, and Jason. Great-grandmother of 12. Mother-in-law of Gerald Harris, Peston Noel, Anthony James, Anne and Asha Hippolyte. Aunt of many including Lorna, Mark, Sherman, Charmaine, Betty, David, Andre, Larry, Chris, and Aubrey. Her caregiver, Annette Fleming. Many other relatives and friends including pastor and members of Corinth, Malmount and Crowshoe Seventh-day Adventist Church, Ebenezer Seventh-day Adventist Church in New York, the Hippolyte families in St. David, St. Patrick and Grand Mall, the Etienne family of Apertute, the Edwards family of De Blando, Harris family of Mount Morris, Noel family of Mount Alexander, Lloyd Gillard and family in Trinidad, Robbie George and family, Cindy Francis, friends and neighbors of Bellevue, Apertute and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Agnes Cynthia Hippolyte, also known as Auntie Cinty of Bellevue St. David, will take place on Thursday, 12th October at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the current Seventh-day Adventist Church, St. David, and the interment will be at the St. David Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Dennis Albert Dragon, also known as Cock, of La Femme St. David, who resided at Confer Calivany St. George, passed away on Saturday, 16th September 2023, at the age of 74. He was the father of Indra in the USA, Raymond and Kim in Canada, Anika and Keon in Grenada, grandfather of 13 including Jeremy and Opemi in the USA, Anaya, Amaya and Ariana, brother of Julian, Adrian, Derek, Brenda and Celia, father-in-law of 3 including Dr. Adeni, many nieces and nephews, many other relatives and friends including the Joseph family of Latente, the Mitchell family of Mount Airy, the Cador family of St. Paul's, Margaret of Laborie, and friends and neighbors of La Femme, St. Paul's, Confer and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Dennis Albert Dragon, also known as Cock, of La Femme St. David, who resided at Confer Calivany St. George, will take place on Friday, October 13th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, and interment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Elsia Imelda Ferguson, MBE, also known as Teacher Elsa and Elsie of Guave St. John, who resided at Woburn St. George, died on Thursday, 14th September, in Tobago at the age of 75. Left to mourn her son, Cale Ferguson, in Tobago. Brothers, Aldwin in Grenada, Theodore and Eustace in Trinidad. Sisters, Floris Bowen in Grenada. Grandchildren, Emilia, Ethan and Michael in Tobago. Daughter-in-law, Mia Ferguson in Tobago. sisters-in-law Lillian in Grenada, Gloria and Joanne in Trinidad, nieces Jadine in Grenada, Janelle in the UK, Nayola, Arlene and Rennie all in the USA, nephews Jay in Grenada, Zeno, Jason, Neron and Darvin in the USA, caregivers Agnes Mitchell and Carville St. Louis, relatives the Ferguson family of Guave, Grace and Barreto families of Guave, Eleanor Datton, Orva Marshall and the Brookmeyer family of St. Andrew, Marilyn and the Maxwin family of Birch Grove, Trinidad and the USA and the small family of Guave, friends Mavis Danny, Dr. John Wright and Lady Norma Glean, all in Guave, Lynette Edwards and other schoolmates of St. Joseph's Convent, Sisters of St. Joseph's Cluny, and Sisters of Sorrowful Mother, Pauline Findley, Arlene Lacrette and others associates of TAMCC, Teacher Education and Staff Affairs Department, Wendy Tima Ashby, Lauren Ramdani, Ronnie Marisho and other members of Spice Island Youth Quake, members of Quake USA, Caris Degans, Dr. Antonia Smythe, and members of the League of St. Michael, Father Oliver Levy and Kiltigan Fathers, O'Kane, Levy, McCarthy families in Ireland, Bishop Clyde Harvey and the entire clergy of the Diocese of St. George in Grenada, especially priests and parishioners of St. Michael RC Church and the St. Peter's RC Church, and many more. The funeral of the late Elsia Imelda Ferguson, MBE, also known as Teacher Elsa, and LC of Guave St. John, who resided at Woburn St. George, will take place on Friday, 13th October at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church, Guave St. John, and the interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Celia Peters of Guave St. John passed away on Wednesday, 4th October, at the age of 72. The funeral arrangements of the late Celia Peters of Guave St. John will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Anastasia Patty Bethel Morin, also known as Pato of Petite Martinique, who resided at Corinth St. David, a well-known tourist vendor, passed away on Sunday, 1st October, at the age of 72. The funeral arrangements of the late Anastasia Patty Bethel Morin, also known as Pato of Petite Martinique, who resided at Corinth St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Monroe Charles of Sab St. Andrew, who resided at Nunperel St. Mark, passed away on Saturday, 30th September 2023, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Monroe Charles of Sab St. Andrew, who resided at Nunperel St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Eileen Alexis of Archibald Avenue, St. George, died on Sunday, October 1st, 2023, at the age of 102. The funeral arrangements for the late Eileen Alexis of Archibald Avenue, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anthony Mahorn, also known as Curry of Corinth St. David, died on Saturday, September 30th, 2023, at the age of 57. The funeral arrangements for the late Anthony Mahorn, also known as Curry, of Corinth St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Archbishop Veronica Hines, also known as Mother Hines and Vero, of Spring St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 27th September 2023, at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Archbishop Veronica Hines, also known as Mother Hines and Vero, of Spring St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Ina Hilda Lewis, also known as Liz, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Crowshoe St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, 18th September 2023, at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Ina Hilda Lewis, also known as Liz, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Crochet St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Mary Virginia Francois, also known as Olive Alexander and I.E., of Mount Craven St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, at the age of 90. The funeral arrangements for the late Mary Virginia Francois, also known as Olive Alexander and I.E., of Mount Craven St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Veronica Frank, also known as Tarn Vero of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Vendham St. George and in Canada, passed away on Monday 25th September 2023 at the age of 88. The funeral arrangements for the late Veronica Frank, also known as Tarn Vero of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Vendham St. George and in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Alithea Myrtle Jean Thompson, also known as Auntie Jean of Rosehill St. Patrick, passed away on Saturday 23rd September 2023 at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Alithea Myrtle Jean Thompson, also known as Auntie Jean of Rosehill St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Gemma Antoine Wilson of Grove St. John, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, a distinguished and much-loved mathematics and Bible knowledge teacher and former deputy head teacher of the St. Mark's Secondary School, passed away on Monday 28th August 2023 at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Gemma Antoine Wilson of Grove St. John, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Reverend George Milton Guy, also known as Gapman, of Lauriston Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023, at the age of 68. The funeral arrangements for the late Reverend George Milton Guy, also known as Gapman, of Lauriston Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. In loving memory of Fitzroy Bernard Boatswain of Happy Hill, who resided at Beausejour St. George, and passed away on Thursday, 29th September 2022, and was entombed on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. God knew that you were suffering. He knew you were in pain. He saw the road was getting rough, and the hills were hard to climb. So he closed your eyes and whispered, "Peace be thine." It broke our hearts to lose you, but you did not go alone. A part of us went with you the day God took you home. Remembering you is your mother, Elmina, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, other relatives and friends. May your soul rest in peace. Funeral arrangements were entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
And verse 13, blessed is the day that died in the Lord. If your loved one died in the Lord, you have nothing to worry about. You could be confident that that one is in a better place. But what about you who are left behind to mourn? What if you had been